Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, whatever time of day this video finds you. It's your boy Jay here, and we are back at it again with some more Monster Hunter content. And I just want to start a discussion, so to speak. Seregios, is he a forgotten flagship? It seems like Seregios is not getting the same kind of treatment as most other flagships are getting in the series, and I think it's high time that my boy gets a chance to shine. All right, so yes, Seregios is in Sunbreak, right, and his return was, for the most part celebrated. Everybody was happy he was coming back. Everyone was like, hell yeah, bro, he's back, he's here, the boy is here, it's great, But with this latest patch, we got Chaotic Gore Magala coming back, and of course, Gore Magala is the flagship from 4, and Seregios from 4U, right? But Gore Magala has had, some good treatment. He's got his new form coming back in Chaotic, and then he also grows up into Shigaru Magala, right? And Shigaru Magala is also in the game. So Shigaru Magala has 3 different versions of himself in Sunbreak coming up, right? And in most games, every game where Gore and Shigaru show up, Chaotic shows up too, right? So there's 3 different forms of him. However, looking at Seregios, it's just him. Seregios does not have a sub. Seregios does not have a variant. Seregios, he only gets like a powered up version of himself in the form of Apex in the original 4U, and Afflicted here in Sunbreak, right? But he does not have a variant. He doesn't have a subspecies. He doesn't have a rare species. He's just him, right? So what I want to do here in a second now is I want to scroll through the list of all of the flagships in the game. In the games, like, so far, right? We're going to take a trip through history and just look at all the flagships and talk about, the various forms that they have. So, yeah, without further ado, man, oh, yeah, don't forget to subscribe and like if you like Monster Hunter content, man. I'm here doing a damn thing at least twice a week. You're getting at least 2 videos a week from me. So, yeah, subscribe down below if you like Monster Hunter content. But that's enough stalling. Let's go. I'm going to shrink myself down. Whoop. Yo. All right, let me shrink myself down just a little bit more. All right, I think that's gonna be good. So we are here at the Monster Hunter Wiki, okay? And the reason why I'm here at the Monster Hunter Wiki is because it's got all the flagships just boom here and easy for us to look at, right? So let's start going down the list, right? We got Rathalos here in the original Monster Hunter and Monster Hunter Freedom, and as we know, in Monster Hunter G, Azure Rathalos was the flagship, but Rathalos has every single thing, has every single form. He's got subspecies, he's got variants, he's got a deviant, he's got Apex, both kinds of Apex. Rathalos is good, bro. Rathalos has a rare. Rathalos is good. He's got hella forms, right? So we already know Rathalos is well taken care of. He's in every game. Cool. Let's move on. Let's move right on. Boom, we're here in the 2nd generation. We got Kushala Deora. Okay, Kushala has rusted Kushala. That was in 4? I know he's in 4U, but I don't know if he was in base 4. But yeah, rusted Kushala Deora. So Kushala has rusted Kushala Deora. We got Freedom 2nd, Freedom 2. And Tigrex is the flagship there. And Tigrex has Brute Tigrex, and in 4U he's got Molten Tigrex. So he's got a subspecies and he's got a rare, right? Boom. And then for Freedom Unite, Monster Hunter FU, we got Nargacuga as the flagship, right? And Nargacuga has a sub and a rare, and it had a deviant. Yeah, both these guys, Tigrex and Nargacuga, got a deviant as well, so there's that. So Nargacuga, he's got green Nargacuga, you got Lucent Nargacuga, you got Silverwind Nargacuga, right? Got many forms and different ways to fight this guy, right? Moving on to 3rd generation, this is going to be where my memories start kicking in, right? Because Tri was my first game, right? We got Lagiacrus, right? Lagiacrus, he's stuck here at 3U and GU, right? He's stuck kind of there, but he's got Ivory Lagiacrus. You've got Abyssal Lagiacrus, right? So he's got a subspecies, he's got a rare, he's got other forms, man. He's got other forms. And then Portable 3rd, you got Zinogre, and Zinogre got an Apex, he got a Deviant. Zinogre also has a subspecies in Stygian, right? So Zinogre has plenty of different forms you could fight. Cool. Right, moving right along, 3G or 3U, depending on where you're from, and but Brachydios, we got Brachydios here. He has Raging Brachydios, right? So he's got a variant, he's got a powered up form, right? That way, when you first fight him, he's already mad, and then he gets even more mad. So we got Raging Brachydios, and we got Brachydios. He's got another form you can fight. Okay, moving on. For you, we're here in the 4th generation. So we got Monster Hunter 4, Gore Magala is on the cover, and we already briefly talked about Gore Magala because Chaotic Gore exists and is coming to Sunbreak next week. Hype, 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 hype. And then we've got Shagaru Magala, which is his grown-up form, which is basically him again, right? So we got regular Gore Magala, we got Chaotic Gore Magala, we got Shagaru Magala. Plenty of Magalas to fight. Here we go, the subject of today's video, right? We got Seregios. Apex Seregios from 4U and Afflicted, but like all of these other monsters have Afflicted and Apex, but you know that barely even counts. He has no sub, he's got no rare, he's got no other form, no deviant, no none. He's just him, Seregios. Black. Right? Moving on, we got Generations, and Generations is kind of special because there's 4 flagships for Generations. But the thing about the 4 flagships, the Fated 4, even though Glavenus is on the cover, and Glavenus has a deviant, and he's also got a subspecies in Acidic Glavenus, who's in Iceborne, right? And then the other Fated 4, they all got deviants, right? So, boom, there's that, outright. And then Mizutsune just got a rare species. We got Violet Mizutsune, so there's that. And then, of course, Astalos and Gammoth have Bolt Reaver, and oh my god, I did not forget the name of Elder Frost Gammoth. See, Elder Frost. I didn't forget it, right? So we got Elder Frost, we got Bolt Reaver, and then Violet, and we got Acidic, and we got Hellblade, and we got Apex Mizu. Mizu's got an Apex too, like, even though it's kind of a reskin of, oh, I didn't forget the name. Soul Seer. Haha, Soul Seer Mizutsune. So yeah, plenty of different forms of the Fated 4, and you know, Glavenus on the cover. You know, plenty of different forms to fight, right? Boom. Valstrax, even though he's kind of new, we're getting kind of to the new territory, right? Like 4th generation, it's not that long ago. I mean, 4U was what, 2014, 15 off the top of my head. We could look this up later, but yeah. So we got 4U, and we got Valstrax, right? Valstrax for GU, and guess what? Got a variant. Crimson Glow Valstrax is in Sunbreak and Rise. So Crimson Glow, I mean, even though it's basically just Valstrax in the game, it's still a little different. It still looks different than the regular Valstrax, right? And he's got like beams and stuff. He can do a whole Kamehameha. Regular Valstrax can't do no Kamehameha, right? You know what I'm saying? It's a little different. So Valstrax has Crimson Glow, a variant, because it's still Dragon. It's not a subspecies. It's not something totally different. Just a variant, right? Cool. Moving on. We're here at the 5th gen. We're reaching today, right? So we're here. We got Nergigante, who has Ruiner Nergigante, right? It's got a variant, powered up version. Cool. Now we got Velkhana, right? Now Velkhana is pretty new. Velkhana does not have a subspecies or a variant, but Velkhana kind of just came out, right? I mean, Iceborne was what? I think 2019 for Iceborne. So like just came out, still kind of fresh. We need time for Velkhana to marinate, you know what I'm saying? We need time for Velkhana to show up, grow, develop. Maybe in a future game, maybe in 6, we'll get a different, you know, Velkhana form. Maybe, but Velkhana's brand new still, you know what I'm saying? Seregios has been around for a hot minute, damn near 10 years, 8 years. Like, you know, Velkhana's still kind of new. Velkhana's got time to develop, right? And then we got Magnum Malo for Rise, and then, as you know, in Sunbreak, we've got a Scorned Magnum Malo. So already got a variant, even though you just came out. Super brand new, right? Like, yeah. So then we got Malzeno here, who like has only existed for not even a year yet. And with the way Elder Dragons are being treated, we may get a Risen. I'm using this in quotations, right? Because Malzeno is the original Risen Elder, so we may get the Malzeno that fought Gaze Magorum all that time without Curio and have different powers or something. I don't know. Malzeno could have an interesting new form coming soon. It's possible. Or they just skip it entirely. But Malzeno's here. Maybe we'll get a Risen. Don't know. Still brand spanking new. Like, we still have time. We need Malzeno to develop a little bit, right? So, and then we're going to scroll down just a little bit more, okay? We're here at Monster Hunter Frontier. So on the cover of Frontier, we got Teostra. Risen Teostra just got announced, so we've got a different version of Teostra to fight. And then also Teostra has Lunastra, right, which is kind of Teostra but blue. It's the mate. It's, you know, it's his mate, but still kind of counts for like a different form. I wouldn't quite call it a subspecies, but hey, Black Diablos exists, right? And that's just a female Diablos in heat, and that counts as a subspecies. So we're getting a little wishy-washy, right? And then Espinas here, we just got Flaming Espinas, which is a subspecies. And then apparently there's a white Espinas as well. So Espinas has plenty of other, variants to fight as well. So these two monsters are in mainline, and they have subspecies and variant and rare representation already, right? And then of course the rest of these are they're nowhere to be seen in main yet. Do I want them to come? Hell yeah. I never got a chance to play Frontier, but I'd be down for it. But that the point remains. Let me go back up. Point remains. My man Seregios is lacking. He ain't getting shown no love. Where's his subspecies at? Where's his variants at? You know what I'm saying? And then to even rub salt in the wound, in World we got Basil Goose, who's basically Seregios, but explosions, you know what I'm saying? So if I'm Seregios, I'm looking at Basil Goose like, bro, you copied my whole flow, bro. You stole my whole flow, bar for bar, word for word. You know what I'm saying? So, I just wanted to talk about that, bring this up. Why doesn't Seregios have a variant? Why is Seregios just bang? He's just here. So I think it's high time my boy gets some shine. Hopefully in Title Update 4 or 5, maybe we get a Seregios variant just kind of slid in there on the slick, like, yo, he's a high level now, you know what I'm saying? We get a stronger version, right? Even if they go the variant route, right? Which is just Seregios, but better. Maybe we could call it Razor Sharp Seregios or Super Sharp Seregios, because, he'll just do the same thing he does, just better, right? Same thing how like Seething Basil Geese or Furious Rajang is, right? They're monsters, but like on another level, you know what I'm saying? So maybe with the new Seregios, when you encounter him, he's always in the angry, puffed up form, right? Because when you see Seregios, when he's chill, the blades are like chilling, right? They're like laying flat. He looks kind of smooth, you know what I'm saying? And then when he gets mad, roar, you can kind of see it on the cover here. The blades start to come out, right? So maybe Razor Sharp Seregios, I guess, is what I'm gonna default to calling him. He always has the blades out. He's always ready. He always ready for the smoke, you know what I'm saying? And then maybe when he gets mad, we get a new form. We get longer blades or something. Maybe something akin to a Ruiner Nergigante where the spikes are almost always out. Or maybe we go the subspecies route and he somehow picks up the ability, because I'm gonna say this, it's gonna sound crazy, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Maybe he picks up the ability to paralyze you, right? Another problem I have noticed in these games is that we don't have high level paralysis representation. Maybe we can get a Seregios subspecies that the blades have been coated in like a paralysis powder, and now when you get hit with blade, you get hit with bleed and you get hit with paralysis, right? I mean, we did just get Espinas. Oh, I'm circling the wrong thing. We did just get Espinas in Sunbreak, right? And when you get hit with an Espinas fireball, you get paralyzed, you get poisoned, you get set on fire, right? And that combination of ailments is quite potent. So we can kind of do the same thing up here with Seregios. You can get hit with a blade, you can get hit with bleed, you get hit with some damage, and you're paralyzed, stuck on the floor, just bleeding out, while Seregios is super mad, super crazy, in the back still going nuts. You know what I mean? So yeah, just a couple thoughts on where maybe Seregios could go. And then on top of that, I want to talk about weapons and equipment, right? So Seregios came back in Sunbreak, right? And with that, he came, blade scale hone, which is, it's not as good as it used to be, right? Because you have to roll through an attack and be invincible through the attack for it to proc. But the problem with that is, in Sunbreak, a lot of the monsters have an attack and like a secondary effect, right? A monster will swing its arm at you so you can roll through the claw, and then explosions will follow behind the claw attack and you'll get hit with the explosion, right? So it's kind of hard to activate blade scale hone. Maybe when we bring this variant or subspecies of Seregios, we get blade scale hone back in its original form. Now you don't have to dodge through an attack. You can just roll, and you'll get the sharpness. And you can make it stack with the OG blade scale hone. So now instead of getting 10 points of sharpness, you can get 20 points of sharpness if you manage to roll through an attack and you have the other skill on top, right? So boom, more sharpness management, and then maybe a special variant of protective polish, right? Where I'm just gonna kind of call back to Hellblade Glavenus, right? When you sharpen, not only are you, you have protective polish, but you get an attack bonus as well for a small period of time. So maybe it could look like protective polish. I'm not saying give it protective polish and a buff on top. I'm saying just the buff. So whenever you get sharpness added to you, you'll get the protective polish outline around your blade, but instead of white, maybe have it be red to signal that like, yo, you've got the buff for a small amount of time. And the small amount of time can be something as short as 30 seconds, right? Something like status trigger or something like status trigger. Very short amount of time. But when you get it to proc, the red outline shows up around your sharpness meter, which lets you know you've got even more attack for a small amount of time, right? So that the skills kind of synergize along with the original Seregios stuff and the new skill set that comes from him. But that's just me spitballing, throwing out ideas. I don't like to point out a flaw or point out something in a game or in a piece of media that I'm enjoying without trying to provide a solution, right? So I'm saying like, hey, my boy Seregios needs a subspecies or a variant, and I'm out here trying to put out a solution. Let me know how you feel about my solution. Am I going crazy? Are my solutions not good? What would you do? What would your subspecies or variant of Seregios look like? Am I onto something or am I tripping? Let me know in the comments down below, people. And as always, happy hunting. Peace.